In this video, we're going to take a look at an Amazon affiliate website, a real life example. You'll also be able to get about 1,000 keywords for this website. If you head over to nichesiteproject.com/YouTube keywords, you'll be able to get all these keywords for this site, plus several others. So in total, it's over 15,000 keywords. And again, they're actually profitable keywords that you can use on your own or just use them for research. So let's get to the video. All right, hey, what's up? It's Doug Huntington from Niche Site Project. This is part of the series for going through real life examples of Amazon niche sites. There's actually a page where I cover all these. There's a little bit more information, but in these videos we're going to tear them down, and there's a lot of others. So if you haven't checked out the playlist, do check out the playlist. The one we're going to look at right now is called pickmyshaver.com. We're looking at it right here, and just off the bat, I like it. It's a pretty clean theme, and I'm assuming it's a responsive theme, and you could actually check that sort of thing by just like scrunching it down, and yeah, it resizes in a nice way, so that's cool. And we could scroll down and just take a quick look. So overall, it looks like they have a nice sort of magazine type theme here, so that's cool. And they have their little Amazon affiliate disclosure, some privacy, contact info, and about page. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like all that stuff. That is good. And if you watch some of the other videos, I'll call out some of the things like that they don't have. So this site, Pick My Shaver, does have them. And a quick look at the navigation up here. So they have the top 5 shavers, and I'm checking out, sort of how they have this structured, and it looks like they have a nice sort of silo structure. And you can find, I'll put a link in the description, but a silo structure sort of indicates that they architected the site in a wise way, and they kind of understood what was going on. Typically, it means there's a very deliberate way that they've interlinked the site in a way that can help SEO and help people just sort of understand where to go on the site to get more information. And what we'll do in just a moment is take a look at some of the reviews to see how those look. But before we do, I'm going to click over here just to get some critical info about the site, so we can see it was founded in September of 2013. There are over 6,000, right? 6,000 keywords that rank in the top 100, which is pretty cool. The other thing we notice is around mid year of 2014, the site had a pretty big drop in traffic, and then things got a little better, and they're continuing to decline. It actually reminds me of the treadmill site that we looked at in another video, right? So if you haven't seen that one, it was founded in the same time period, and it sort of declined in the same way. That said, in both cases, the SEMrush and SimilarWeb estimates do show traffic coming to the site. So because there's so many words that they rank for, they do have some traffic. It is amazing to see the difference in the estimates of the traffic, though. So SEMrush says about 4,000, and then SimilarWeb says almost 60,000. So that is a astronomical difference. So it's kind of hard to tell how many people really go to the site. We do see the SimilarWeb mentions that people spend about a minute on the site. They take a look at, over 1.5 pages. So a lot of people do click around just a bit. And let's go take a look at one of the reviews, by the way. And I just arbitrarily picked one. I didn't check it out before, but we're looking at it now. They have some pretty cool looking images here, and I like the way that they're sort of breaking up the text, both with the images and with just like shorter paragraphs. So you don't want to see just a wall of text. One thing that they did really well is they have a call to action early: check the pricing and availability. So that gets people over to Amazon right away. As I alluded to, there's a silo structure here. So number one, you can see it in the best Panasonic electric shavers, and then the specific model. Additionally, in this post, they link back to best electric shaver. That's obviously a keyword they're trying to rank for, and that goes back to the top 5 best electric shavers, which is here. That's what this is. So they're linking in a very deliberate way, as I said, a silo structure. The other stuff they do, they're interlinking to other pages, which is part of the silo structure. And the idea behind the silo structure is, to have that deliberate interlinking. They do talk about, checking out reviews on Amazon, which is a good thing to do. That's really cool. People care about reviews. They want to hear what real people think about the items. And you can link directly to the Amazon review page. That's a good thing to do. And they have a video here. That's a great thing to do also. It gives Google an idea about the topic on this page. Another thing that they do a good job of is, these bullet point lists. They actually call out good things and bad things, pros and cons. Pros and cons add, nice credibility to your review. One thing I see a lot is people they'll recommend every single product. They'll say every single product is great and you should buy it, which is just crazy because not all products are great. There's some good ones and there's some bad ones, and an honest review will yield better conversion rate, and it just it feels more credible if there are good items and bad items. It just makes sense, right? One little thing here, they have a little short code for Facebook like, and that's not working for some reason, so that's bad. And they have some comments here, which is really cool. Those may or may not be, authentic, but people are commenting in one fashion or another, so that's really good. And like I said, they may or may not be real, but they're there, so that's a good thing. So that's just one review. Let's take a look at this top 5 shavers, which that's probably their top keyword that they're trying to rank for. Pretty competitive, given the fact that there's been a lot of shaver sites out there. There's been some public case studies on like Niche Pursuits, and that's that kind of gets a lot of visibility to certain niches. So they have 2017 in the title, the best and most recommended shaver list, so that's cool. They're hitting the keywords there. I would maybe put a call to action like right up front, very early on. The other thing, just the template on their site. Follow us on Facebook. Like for me, I'm like, what's the point of having that over there, right? Even if there's a few people that actually like the page, that is probably not super helpful. Like it may be better to just, get rid of the sidebar, or maybe have a little floating sidebar over here that recommends like one specific product, something like that. But the point being, this is a waste of space and nobody really cares about liking a Facebook page. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that, but in my opinion, I'd maybe get rid of it. You want the focus over here. I like these calls to action, right? So this is great. It looks super clean. Top rated electric shavers. That's nice. It's a synonym, a latent semantic indexing type term, right? So a synonym for best, top rated. Nice buttons here. So that's cool. They don't have the image, linked up, and that's okay. I find that a lot of people don't actually click on the images. So it's totally cool not to have those. They obviously know the button is how to get there. So check price and availability. That's pretty good. There's a link to the actual review on the site, which is great. I like that as well. I would maybe put more information on this like each one of these products, I would maybe have a pros and cons list within this section here and have like some bullet points. I mean, the thing is, they're trying to rank this page, which doesn't have that much content, for a competitive term. So the point is, I think they may have a little bit of a hard time ranking it because there's just not that many words on this page. So that's just my personal opinion, by the way. The other thing is I would maybe look at putting, a full-on buyer's guide on this. So again, there's not many words on this page. There's a few listed, 1, 2, 3. Well, it's the top 5 list, right? So they only list 5. They have an opportunity to list like 20 of them, right? So they could put even more products on here, even more keywords, and they could put like a buyer's guide on here where it talks about the different options that people have on electric shavers, why you may want to have an electric shaver, and you could make that 5,000 words long. If you have something that long, chances are people are going to spend more time on the page, and that's a positive sign to Google. And then the other part is there's just more words on the page so that you can potentially rank for long tail keywords. Super important aspect. So that's sort of their the main page that they're trying to rank there. Let's look at their blog and just see what they have going on there. So it looks like they have just some other products, right? So they're sort of disguising these affiliate products as like, blog information. So these are obviously affiliate articles too. Let's see, professional balding clipper. That hits close to home, as you can see. It's nice to have a nice clean shave. I use just a razor myself these days, but at one time I had a small set of clippers like this. Okay, so one thing they don't have right off the bat, there's like no call to action early, right? So I would have like in the first paragraph, hey, check the pricing and availability on Amazon, right up front, right? So I'm still scrolling down. There's still no links to Amazon, even here. That's an internal link to the site. And this is the first opportunity at the very end to get over to Amazon. They're missing out on getting someone over early. That said, they did a good job calling out, home use. They did a good job mentioning, why it's good, the pros and the cons, right? So again, great job on the credibility here because they are actually listing out some of the flaws of the product. So good job there. Biggest gripe is they don't have a call to action early. And they maybe have an opportunity to put, maybe more lists in here. The other thing I would maybe think about is, there's technical specs, right? So they get into it a little bit here with the sort of sizing and the type of motor. But, you could put a table down here, even if it has some similar information that's in the bullets. You could put a table in here just to, break up the text a little bit. There's only one image here of the product. And you can put other images through here just to make it look a little bit more, more magazine-like, a little bit easier to read. So that, again, like all this stuff, it's just my opinion as we're going through it, but, I could tell you they should have more than one link over to Amazon, maybe 2. You don't have to go crazy, but there should be one up here before the fold, right? Before anyone has to scroll down, there should be something there. Okay, so that pretty much covers it for this site. And we'll just take a quick look at the About page. So I mentioned it in other areas, but like in other videos rather, if there's a persona on here that like presents him or herself such that they know what the hell they're talking about, that's a good thing, right? So when you're looking at this, they're just talking about like some business, right? It doesn't really make much sense. In fact, there's like I don't know what this little rating thing is. Like obviously they didn't mean to include it here because like why would the About page have a rating? That said, 91 people voted for it, and only 73% are like positive about it. So I don't know what that means. Obviously, a little bit of a mistake, but the point is, right? So they had like some information about those balding clippers, and what better person than a person like myself, a bald man like myself, to talk about balding clippers? The point is, there's credibility if you have an about page, and especially if there's some expertise around the specific topic of the site. So when we refer back to, there's a treadmill site that we do in this series also. So if you haven't watched that video, check it out. But the treadmill site, right? I run, and I run on a treadmill sometimes, like in the winter when it's snowy outside. And the thing is, I would want to read a review by a person who knew something about running and knew something about treadmills. But when I read the reviews on that site, it was clear that they really didn't know what they were talking about. They were just kind of regurgitating some of the information that was on the Amazon page. What would be really helpful is saying, here's 2 paragraphs about the experiences. I ran 2 miles on this treadmill. It really was nice to, have an incline and decline, and the speed changed in an efficient manner, and I didn't feel like it was jerky. I'm talking about treadmills right now, but we're looking at the Shaver site. Alternatively, right, for this specific site, it'd be really cool if someone could talk with intelligence about the clippers that are used for doing a nice shave like I have here. So again, what more credible source than like an actual bald man talking about clippers that he used to clip his hair? So the whole point is, when I read this, I'm like, I don't know if they know what they're talking about at all. There's no face, there's no person behind it, and it just seems a little inauthentic. It's not going to be the make or break of your site, but if you do have like a real about page with some persona, right, it may really help your conversion rate because it looks like there's an actual person. Now, the other part is, if you are building an email list or something like that, it's a lot more personal, and you could actually like send emails to people, and it can make a big difference if you actually have like some persona. And that said, maybe instead of this follow us on Facebook, it's the person like about me. I mean, that is on a lot of blogs, right? So that could be a very relevant thing to have there. Okay, so I think I talked about this one for a pretty long time. I will mention you can get all the keywords that I mentioned. If you head over to there's like 6,000 keywords. You can get like 1,000 of them. If you go over to the link I'll describe in just a minute, but you can get a lot of goodies if you come over to my site, Niche Site Project. And okay, well, I'll leave it at that. Again, I'm Doug Cunnington, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Okay, so don't forget to go grab the keywords. Like I said, you can get about 15,000 total. You'll also get a bunch of other tips and tricks for running a niche site, productivity, project management, scaling your business, all sorts of stuff. So head over to nichesiteproject.com/YouTube keywords to get all your free goodies. Thanks.